So welcome in Ohio Cannabis. Ohio Cannabis Report is a independent media platform that I um, founded a few years ago. Let me see. Why am I losing network? To cover all things Ohio cannabis related, and so that has been the mission. Um, and so we've been doing some good work. And so again, being an independent media platform, I don't consider myself a journalist or anything like that. Um, I'm just a human having a human experience, sharing the information that I come across, you know what I mean, to the community. Now, my wife is a journalist. She's been a journalist for as long as we've been together. She went to school for journalism. So I've watched what she does, and she works for obviously a news company. And what I've noticed is that, when I looked at my wife's contract, it said that basically they're talent, right? They're not journalist. So what is talent? That's why a lot of these news companies are more opinion based, right? Like they'll show you stories, but a lot of the stories now are based on entertainment, right? It's based on viewership. It's based on keeping people engaged and entertained. So um, when we passed legalization in Ohio, for me it was like, well, if I wanted to get involved in the cannabis industry, I couldn't afford it, right? Like, who has like $20,000 cash that you might not get back for a cannabis license, and then you got to have like millions of dollars cash to even apply for a dispensary or cultivator. And so for me, it was like, well, nobody's thinking about the ancillary markets, right? You have obviously engineering. You can build different machines to help streamline the cannabis process. So there's different facets to the cannabis industry. So I was like, well, what about the media side of it? What about storytelling? So I became a published author with Courage in Cannabis. And then I started Athletes in Cannabis because I was like, well, my story, and I was like, there's tons of other stories. And I was like, there's not a lot of platforms for people to really express those stories in the vein of cannabis. So that's when we started Ohio Cannabis Report. It started with my guy Broderick, who now Broderick has his own podcast called Between the Buds, where he interviews different people in the cannabis industry. And he used to be afraid to talk about weed publicly. Now he got his own podcast that he's been doing really good at and having a lot of people on. So, the podcast system streams, like there's so many different ways. I mean, there's a few different podcasts now based in Ohio, Columbus based, Cincinnati based. Pothead Genius does a lot of events and media. There's two girls out of Cincinnati. I'm going to be on their podcast in a month or two. But a lot of people forget, like, yeah, everybody gets caught up on like smoking weed, selling weed, growing weed. But when it comes to industry and business, you need media, marketing, events, all types of different parts of the industry, HVAC, plumbing, electrical. It's all different parts of the ecosystem. So that's where my idea for the media came into play, and that's why I do a lot of cannabis media in Ohio Cannabis Report. Because again, Ohio is a pretty big state. It's a pretty powerful state. There's 11.8 million people in the state, big business. So if you can corner the market or even have a fraction of a market here, you can do really well. So, my media platforms have gained a lot of traction. Some of my posts have gone viral. We're going to start doing events here. We got our first event coming up in April. And I've been doing a lot of this just from the crib, you know what I mean? So my social battery finally getting a little bit recharged. So I'm like, I get back out a little bit. I got kids and shit. I got a family. So as long as I got my weed and I got my family, I'd be cool. I don't really need to be outside. But we're gonna come outside. We're gonna do some events. We're gonna bring the community together. We're going to have some good conversations, educate the community, hopefully build on community wealth, within the cannabis space. So, but yeah, I'm about to start this live on our YouTube because I got to cover some news that I just discovered. So what's good to the YouTube family? Just a little disclaimer. This is for news and entertainment purposes only. Um, So yeah, I recently came across some information. Obviously, say no to SB 56. Ohio's dealing with that right now. If you're into cannabis, they just passed a law that basically will criminalize cannabis consumers for, basic possession, combustion outside. You grow one plant over your limit, you can be criminalized for that. If you're smoking in a car as a passenger, you can be criminalized for that, fined for that. If you travel back and forth from Michigan with cannabis, legally purchased in Michigan and bring it back across state lines, that is now a criminal offense. So Ohio SB 56, does a lot and will hurt, poor working class people, right? So even if you get a fine, right, a $500 fine to somebody that can't afford $500 is a lot of money. $1,000 fine, and then you don't pay the fine, that becomes jail time, right? They also took away social equity, so that money was supposed to be used to go towards helping communities most harmed by the war on drugs. So now, obviously, the people that we initially set up this industry to help and support, now the industry is saying, no, we don't want to help and support those people. We only want to help and support the wealthiest of us, So that's why this is a big deal. We've been talking about it for some time on the different platforms. Make sure you follow us on Ohio Cannabis Report on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Something's up with our TikTok right now too. So I don't know. I gotta figure it out. They be trying to hate on your boy. They try to hate on you when you're independent. When you indie, they try to hate on you, and you don't need none of their bread because you got your own. They gonna try to hate on you. You know what I mean? So we've been doing the grassroots work. My nonprofit, shout out to Green Environmental Outreach, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. So resources or funds for this event in April will go to helping GL to be able to do more of this work. So please tap in. We're a Black-owned, Black-led veteran nonprofit based in Springfield, Ohio. Obviously, there's a lot going on with Springfield and ICE potentially coming with the TPS status. I did see that a judge put a pause to the TPS being pulled. So hopefully, we have more time to be able to help our neighbors who just came here to work. So I need to. Because yesterday I did a stream where we were talking about Ohio SB 56, OCAN, what all this means, the referendum being accepted and approved by the Attorney General. A lot of people still think that like these head shops are dispensaries. And again, they are not licensed dispensaries, right? So there's a difference between a licensed dispensary by the state, which is paying taxes to the state, versus a head shop, versus, a hemp dispensary. All right. There's a lot of people on my threads. Oh, yeah, there's Black-owned dispensaries in Columbus. No, there's not. There was one legally owned, Black-owned dispensary. Or there was two, actually. There was one over here in Easton, and there was one in Clintonville. The one in Clintonville, that's been taken over by True Relief. They got sued, so they no longer own those dispensaries. It's no longer Harvest, it's True Relief. And then Sapphire is now Zips. The owner of that was a Black female veteran, and she passed away from cancer. So now there's currently from what I know and what I've done my research on, there are no Black-owned legal cannabis dispensaries. Now, the head shops are retail spots, right? Anybody could go open up a retail store, convenience store, and now sell hemp, right? But that is now also illegal in the new bill. So all those places that are saying we're a hemp dispensary or we're a dispensary, the state is going to be coming in March 20th. The state's going to be coming in and going to those places and shutting them down. So get your money now, because that's what SB 56 did. It's taking THC beverages off the shelves, taking THC beverages out of restaurants, bars, and it's cracking down on THC products in gas stations and stuff like that. So again, that's why this is important. That's why understanding the law, the policy, politics is important, because who is this law going to impact the most? It's going to impact poor working class people. Oh, I'm going up to Michigan because it's cheaper. Okay, you cross back in the state lines. Now the state highway patrol has way more leeway to now search your car, right? Why are you going to Michigan for? What you done brought back? Oh, it wasn't in the trunk, right? So now we're going to search you, and then we're going to take your weed, right? And then we know Ohio, so a lot of times they just going to take the weed, right? So, now you just spent $200, $300 on weed, just for them to take it. So that's why it's important that you understand what's going on. Obviously, we have midterms, November elections are coming up. So a lot of these state politicians, that are up for re-election. So a lot of them are pandering. A lot of these Democrats, right, voted for SB 56. There's a lot of Democrats. Again, if you go watch our YouTube from last night, I went over everybody that voted yes or no, yay or nay for SB 56 in the state of Ohio. So this is all public information. Don't shoot the messenger. You know what I mean? Like, this is freedom of press. Freedom of press. That's what people got to understand. Freedom of press. First Amendment. So yeah, let me bring up I gotta learn how to get my StreamYard too on the TikTok, so everybody could be watching the same thing, because I'm doing one thing on here, I'm doing one thing on there. But if y'all want to support the Ohio Cannabis Report, you know what I mean, donations, we accept donations. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be one of the biggest cannabis platforms in the fucking world, baby. And then once my shit get right, I can hire people. You know what I mean? I'm all for hiring people. We can smoke weed on the job. Your job could be weed tester and reviewer for the Ohio Cannabis Report. So if we got some silent investors that want to, you know what I mean? So I could get my media right, I get my team right, hire a couple producers, hire some editors, you feel me? Nah, we good though. We good. Let me see. Share screen. Wow. So I was looking up the Coalition to Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol, right? Because again, they came out with a statement yesterday. The coalition, let me see. They came out with a statement basically saying they were against the group who is pushing the referendum, essentially. So I want to make sure that we show people just everything that's going on, just so people are aware. Because a lot of this stuff doesn't make the news, right? Like, a lot of this stuff is not going to be on your local news. This is business information. This is stuff that they do behind the scenes. They don't want people to know. And usually people find out after it's already done. It's too late, right? Like, we was at the State House for months trying to, and everybody was like, nah, everybody cool smoking their weed, going to Michigan. I'm going to just go to Michigan. I'm just going, all right. You can take your ass to Michigan now and come back after March 20th. Get the fines if you want to. And Michigan raising their prices. They raising their tax prices. If you can shop well, you can find good bud in Ohio, right? Like, there's people growing good weed. There's all types of farmers markets going on. But again, if you want to, spend your travel, your gas money, you got it like that. You got your group of people. This is America. You're free to do whatever the fuck you want. But don't come back complaining. Like, that's what I don't like. Everybody just goes and then, well, I go to Michigan. Everybody can't go to Michigan. Like, everybody doesn't want to go to Michigan to get their weed. Like, if I can walk 2 minutes, 5 minutes up the road to get some tree without having to call the drug dealer or the weed man and be like, yo, where you at? Where you this? What you got? Blah, 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 blah. And I could just go to a store just like I could go to the gas station, just like I can go to Kroger, Walmart, wherever. You know what I mean? My neighbor should be able to, we need to be having neighborhood potlucks. You feel me? So driving 4 hours, like, I'm in central Ohio, it's going to take 3 to 4 hours to get to Michigan. Then I got to drive 3 to 4 hours back for some weed? That shit is crazy, bro. Now, if you 30 minutes away, an hour away, that's different. But a lot of y'all be tripping. Like nobody's coming from the bottom of Ohio to go to fucking Michigan to buy some weed. Somebody coming from Portsmouth to fucking Michigan. Somebody coming from Athens, to Michigan is crazy. Even Cincinnati, Columbus. Yeah, if you're in Cleveland, that region up there, take your ass to Michigan. But plus, they don't even have that many dispensaries in Ohio right in that region. We got 20 dispensaries in Columbus. So there's a deal. You can find a good deal. I bought an OZ for $100 the other day of some good. Now, we're not going to promote the company because we don't promote companies on here, but $100 for some. So yeah, we want to go over this Ohio Coalition to Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol major donors. So this is 2016. So ABC, I don't know who this is. They donated 200,000. Let's do a research real quick. See what we could come up with. Is that ABCT? So look, this is ABCTAM LLC, Nevada Secretary of State. Is a Nevada domestic liability company filed October 5th, 2015. The company's filing status is listed as dissolved. The registered agent on file is this company CT Corporation Systems. Let's see. And then the company has one contact on record, Armin Indinini. Let's see. So this seems to be who. Oh, okay. Let's see. So, the internet's powerful, guys. You learn how to use the internet. So Armand, I don't even know how to say this name. Let's see. Speech. Yemenidian. Yemenidian podcast, Driving Innovation in Cannabis Industry. In 2017, Armand was named to Vegas Inc.'s prestigious 40 Under 40 list. In 2018, he was named as one of the High Times 100 most influential people in cannabis. Armand began his career at Tropicana Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas in August 2009 in the marketing department, subsequently moving to casino operations and player development. He served as a special projects manager, director of vice president, and player development before becoming vice president of casino marketing and operations. He was approved for a non-restricted gaming license from the Nevada Gaming Commission in 2009 and served as a member of Tropicana Las Vegas Executive Committee as well as the Casino Credit and Compliance Committee. After the sale of Tropicana in August 2015, he founded a number of companies in varying industries, including Arminico Capital, a commercial and residential real estate investment company, Arminico Restaurant Group, a franchisee in Jersey Mike's in Las Vegas, and Integral Associates 1 and 2, medical and recreational cannabis companies that own and operate 3 Essence Vegas dispensaries and two state-of-the-art cultivation and production facilities, DBAs, Desert Grown Farms, and Cannabiotics Nevada. In 2018-2019, the company was approved for an additional 8 licenses in the state of Nevada and was approved to move forward in the commercial cannabis licensing process in West Hollywood, Pasadena, and Culver City, California. Under his leadership, Essence Vegas has received numerous accolades, including being named Business Insider's #1 dispensary in Nevada and top 25 dispensary in the United States, a 15-time Leafly list winner, the most among dispensaries in Nevada, and Las Vegas Review Journal. In 2019, Green Thumb Industries acquired Integral Associates, and Armand joined GTI team as president. That makes sense because we have GTI in Ohio. As president, Armand stepped down from GTI as president in April 2020. Armand was a member of Nevada. Let's see. So this is old information too, by the way. So this was 2016. So I'm just backtracking because the Coalition to Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol has now come back into the picture, talking about they don't support the referendum against SB 56. So you have law office of Brian Paget, Employer Solution Law. So this guy gave 200,000. He gave 200,000. Then the Drug Policy Alliance gave 190,000. So that would be interesting because we're having a representative from the Drug Policy Alliance on our social equity panel, or marijuana policy project. Wow. New Leaf Capital Investors Group gave 100 racks. Gotta follow the money, people. Follow the money. So Jushi Holdings acquires New Leaf. So there you go. That's that connection right there. That's that connection right there. Juicy Holdings acquires New Leaf for $53.6 million. So that's another player, obviously, in the Ohio game. Peckman Capital, another 100,000. Follow the money, people. The money will always show you the way. So you got this Peckman Capital, they're out of California. Follow the money. Core Group Investments gave 100 racks. Let's see. Core Investment Group is out of Upper Arlington. UBS. You gotta follow the money. TGIG gave 100,000. Albright, Diane, and Judy gave 90,000. Who are they? Is that just the homies, or is it? Then you got The Source, Trike Companies Reno, Trike Companies Southern Nevada. There's a lot of Nevada companies investing in Ohio. RNS Investment Properties, Silver State Trading, POCO LLC, LVG Organics, General Hydroponics, Casa de Diverson, Elizabeth Beth, Dive Holding, Esquire, M&M Development Co., Acres Craft Cannabis. So yeah. So look, they raised $5 million. So what? This 2023 marijuana policy project, 2 million. Cresco Labs, 295,000. Jared Maloof, 260,000. Pharmaceutical else, 250,000. Marijuana policy project, another 235,000. Cure Leaf, Brian Kessler, Ohio organizing campaign, 140,000. Pure Ohio Wellness, 125,000. David Johns, 100,000. Bill Foster, 100,000. Certified Cultivator Corporation, 75,000. Cody Boyer, 50,000. Cresco Labs, 50,000. Appalachian Farm Processing, 50,000. Good Growth Alliance, 50,000. Harvest Grows, 50,000. New Gen Ohio, 50,000. Again, follow the money. Follow the money. And you can see who the players are, you know? You can see who the players are. Protect working families. And then we'll go over to here. So this is OCAN's website, and they're the lobbying arm of the legal cannabis industry. So basically, they said this referendum is focused solely on protecting the massive profits of these bad actors and will allow them to continue selling dangerous, unregulated drugs in Ohio. So again, they're doing that dog whistle. So then you got Tim that says the same orgs that put issue 2 on the ballot and lobby for the tier 1 Ohio cannabis program stakeholders have made numerous attempts to monopolize the industry in Ohio and are now criminalizing their very own consumers and patients through SB 56. They are the same ones who redacted social equity and continue attempts to do away with home grow rights. 2.2 million Ohioans have voted for issue 2, not SB 56. Stand your ground by standing by your vote. Be responsible and honest. Just like Ohio, or just like alcohol and OCAN, your statements present typical GOP deception practiced and to mislead the voters and the people and your patients, consumers, as the Ohio GOP leadership have stated. So yeah, I mean, you could see, and then just look like this. These are the people that. This is the same type of people that said this group is trying to, you know, prevent. Like this is the group right here. They're controlling the cannabis industry right here. All of these people, the legal industry, right, in the state. I don't see no black people. Telling sign. Look at this. Another picture. So y'all run the weed industry. No black people in the industry. Oh, he a worker, and he's selling alcohol at a weed event. Oh my gosh, this is Tom Herron. Oh, the lawyer that was pushing legalized marijuana like alcohol. Oh, he's in there. These motherfuckers are some losers, dog. Straight losers. And then you got law firm. And they show you who they are. Look, smiling in your face, giving awards. Look, they look like they smoke good weed. This is Adrian Robbins, the ringleader, executive director for OCAN. She's the mouthpiece. What does this blonde chick know about weed? She just got there. Oh, Icebreaker with Ice Miller and Friends. Sponsored by OCAN, Wild, and Zips. Come on, bro. They at MJ BizCon and shit. Look, a bunch of Chads. Look at them, a bunch of Chads. Ice Miller. And it's the haves versus the have-nots, people. You know what I mean? And until you understand that, unless you're a part of the elite class, they do not give a fuck about you. Look, you can't sit with us. That's their mentality perpetually. You can't sit with us. Like, they're showing you who they are. Buy local. Yeah, buy from your weed dealer. Buy from black weed dealers. Oh, look. 2025 Policy Conference Winery. Oh, look who that is. Look at this. Is that Huffman? Oh, look at that. Huffman and the girl from OCAN right next. Oh, my. At a winery? Not the cannabis people at a winery. You can't make it up. Let me show my my TikTok folks. So this is what I'm showing the people right here. So this is Adrienne Robbins. Adrienne Robbins is the leader of OCAN. She's the executive director of the Ohio Cannabis Coalition. Now, the Ohio Cannabis Coalition is a lobbying group for the legal cannabis industry. So the dispensaries, cultivators, processors, and the owners. This is Steve Huffman. He is a senator that pushed SB 56. I think that's Steve, either Steve or Matt. Both of them, they cousins or whatever. But they're two leaders in the at the State House. And so they just pushed the bill, SB 56, that would criminalize and give fines to cannabis consumers again. So if you travel to Michigan, bring cannabis back, that is now a fine, criminal offense. If you smoke cannabis outside, criminal offense. There's all types of stuff that they don't put into the law with SB 56 now. So I'm just going through their Facebook page. This is their Facebook page, and this is all recent. Sorry, my computer's dirty, but September 10th, 2025. But you can just look at cannabis. I've never seen such a pale cannabis community in my life. And I know a lot of white people that smoke weed, sell weed. Now we got this dude here. I don't know who this guy is. He's the only one in the room, though. Look, he clearly don't give a fuck. He about his paper. Look. Oh, we got another one. I don't know who she is. But let's see who else is in the room. Thank you for tapping in. But look, this is the Ohio cannabis leaders in Ohio right now. It's not the dispensary. It's not the people that's selling hemp. This is Tom Herron, the guy that basically was the lawyer leading regulate marijuana like alcohol. And then here you go again, got Adrienne Robbins, little Miss Piggy. She looking like she eating good over there. They must be paying her good. This guy, he's like, oh shit, we're on camera. Oh shit, they caught us. No, we can't hide it if we're on camera. So this is what they've been pushing. This is one of their education. Buy local, Ohio, safe, tested, legal. Regulated versus unregulated, right? Tested for safety, child safe packaging, accurate potency, ingredients listed, tax revenue supports Ohio. Well, why did you take the social equity in SB 56? Why did they take social equity out if they were giving tax revenue to support Ohioans? Huh? Oh, unregulated, not tested, not safe packaging, unknown potency and source, may contain harmful substances, no local benefit, which is a lie. What about home grow? What about all of the farmers markets that are happening? So they're just lying, right? To push you to go to their licensed locations. That's what they want. So look at this. The people going to let you know in the comments. This is their Facebook, by the way. No local benefit. My local circle benefits greatly from my homegrown. Here we go again. Hemp products are tested, period, dot. Quit spreading lies, right? They're getting laughed at on their own. Like, this is their page. Like, how you getting laughed at on your own page, though? What? Wow. Laugh their ass out. Oh, did you know what is being sold in your community? Like their marketing is terrible. So then this is David Bowling, executive director of OCAN. Quote, as members of Ohio's regulated cannabis industry, we applaud the governor's executive order addressing the spread of dangerous intoxicating hemp products. For too long, the hemp industry has recklessly exploited the farm bill loophole to line its pockets at the expense of Ohioans' health. Until today, unregulated synthetic hemp derived cannabinoids were sold openly, putting consumers, especially children, at risk. They always make sure they add the children. Their obsession with children is the same people that run the world. Adult Ohioans deserve safe, regulated, and tested products they can trust. Our industry has always been invested in the communities where we live, work, and do business, and we will continue to that commitment. Now, those pictures that I showed you, those people do not live in our communities. Those people are not a part of the cannabis industry. Ohio it was illegal to do anything with cannabis 6 years ago. So this wasn't even a thing 6 years ago. We only had adult use for a year. So you just see they just lying, bro. I wonder if it's a coincidence that some of the same verbiage your organization has been using for the last month to paint hemp as some kind of villain is exactly what Governor Mike DeWine said. It was like he was reading a script written by you all, but cool story. So again, this is what they're doing. Again, these are the same people that, oh, we outside the Capitol. Oh, look how cool we are with our backpacks on. Walk into the Capitol. We're in DC from Ohio. Oh my gosh. Fucking dweebs, bro. Look at them. Oh my God, we haven't been to the Capitol since our 8th grade trip. Oh my God, look. We're so cool. Look, we're at the Capitol. We're not storming it. What she got going on? That shit look kind of crazy. Damn. Her shit looking. She looking kind of. You gotta get when the glasses is off. You gotta. This is the executive director of OCAN. Oh, he got 2 buttons down. He was lit. This guy, look, he think he him. Look, he think he him. Look, he like, oh, I got the blondie or titties on my arm and shit. The fuck? It's like it's just weirdos, bro. But this is the narrative they pushing, bro. Look for the logo, DCC logo. So if you're going to like the head shops, the dispensaries in the hood and shit, if they don't got this on there, I'm surprised they ain't start putting that shit. You know, niggas is crazy. If they don't got this licensed by Division of Cannabis Control, Ohio Department of Commerce on their building, they are not technically a legal by the state standards cannabis dispensary. Okay. And so with the new law that gets put into play March 20th, those places will be up for getting raided essentially. Um, so these are the photos I was showing people earlier. But look, that looked like the driest cannabis event I've ever seen in my life. That shit don't look fun. Look, same old peoples, right? Usual suspects. These two chicks, bunch of fucking chads, bro. No weed in sight, bro. Look, same old girl, same shoes and shit. Fuck, bro. Y'all should be upset, bro. I shouldn't be the only one hot, bro. Like they trying to criminalize people again. It's the lawyer, Tom Herron, only black dude in the room. He's serving alcohol and shit. He probably like, what the fuck is going on here? Y'all not paying me enough. A bunch of fucking dweebs, bro. Okay. This is what they put out. That was we ain't gonna rock with that. Let's go to what they done did recently. So this was February 3rd. OCAN proposed a referendum effort opposes the referendum effort seeking to overturn Senate Bill 56. Senate Bill 56 upholds the will of Ohio voters. It does not by preserving a safe, regulated adult use cannabis market while closing dangerous loopholes that allowed untested, intoxicating hemp products and out of state marijuana to flood our shelves. The referendum campaign is not being driven by licensed cannabis businesses that brought issue 2 to the ballot in 2023. Instead, the campaign is being funded by intoxicating hemp interests that profit from the spreading of misinformation. The group spent years undermining the regulated market Ohioans voted for the selling for by selling untested, untaxed, and mislabeled marijuana and synthetic drugs to Ohioans of all ages. This referendum is focused solely on protecting the massive profits of these bad actors and will allow them to continue selling dangerous, unregulated drugs in Ohio. David Bowling, executive director, OCAN. Now let's see them get ate up in their comments again. Go to no on sb56.com if you want to be involved in the referendum efforts. As you can see right here, this is Tim Johnson. He's been at the State House. He's a former cop. He'll tell you, small business owner as well. The same orgs that put issue 2 on the ballot and lobby for tier 1 Ohio cannabis program stakeholders have made numerous attempts to monopolize the industry in Ohio and are now criminalizing their very own consumers and patients through SB 56. They are the same ones who redacted social equity and continue attempts to do away with home grow rights. 2.2 million Ohioans voted for issue 2, not SB 56. Stand your ground by standing by your vote. Be responsible and honest, just like just like alcohol and OCAN. Your statements present typical GOP deception practices to mislead voters and the people and your patients and consumers. As the Ohio GOP leadership have stated, and then this guy says, I don't understand why OCAN opposes this, because they don't want to share any of the bread. They don't want to share none of that bread, bruh. So yeah, give them a call. I think y'all could call them. Should we call them? We got an email. I might have to email her. Sophia Gentile. So yeah, they be on that weird stuff. You know, it's Ohio, bro. It go down in Ohio. So we're gonna see, man. They got to get up to 250 signatures for this referendum by March 20th. So if you're in Ohio, if you're a registered voter, I know they're going to be having petitions around. Make sure you guys are registered. Obviously, there's November elections coming up. So yeah, you know, if you're into cannabis, if you know somebody into cannabis, this is going to be huge, because if the law goes into effect, boy, they're going to be getting people. They're going to be getting people. All right. That's all I wanted to share with y'all today on the live stream. I just wanted to make sure we got that. Hello, we got Kevin. My bad, Kevin. Any information on where I can sign the petition for no on I just stated that. I don't know how long. 12:03. He was on what time is it? 10 minutes ago. So yeah, I did state where you can let me go to that Facebook page. What I say? No. Oh, no on SB56.com. Let's see. No on SB56.com. Like to go slow. You can go faster. So if you want to know more information about where to sign the petition, you can go to no on sb56.com. So that's NOONSB56.com. And this is where they'll have all the information. They're going to be having volunteers. They need volunteers to help collect signatures. So they're going to be doing a training session, I believe, on there as well. They also have some contacts and links for their Facebook, X, and Instagram. You can check your registration on the website. You can also commit to sign. So if you want to know any more information, go to no on sb56.com. So if you're in Ohio, you want to know where to sign the petition that goes against SB 56, which will criminalize cannabis use again. go to knowonsb56.com, and that has all the information on where you can volunteer, commit to sign, register to vote, check your registration, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you can also follow us on Instagram. Follow Dan the Canna Man. He's leading the charge here in Columbus for registration. Um, and if you're on Instagram, there's a few groups that are also spreading awareness and information as well. So just tap in. Great group of people that don't mind sharing and spreading the information. So know on sb56.com will help you with all of that to stay up to date. Again, I'm not a part of this. Like, I support the mission, obviously. I'll sign the petition, but I'm not a part of this group. This is some of the cannabis companies that or hemp companies that are backing this bill. So again, I'm for it, because anything they're trying to, trample on our civil rights with SB 56. So with that being said, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the content. If you like it, make sure you let us know what you got going on, what you're smoking on, what you're medicating on, where you tapping in from, what part of the world, what part of the country, what part of the state. We always love to see where our people are tapping in from. Also, just engaging with the content helps us in the algorithm and all that good stuff. I'm not really one of them social media internet people, but I guess I am now. So I got to do all the necessary things, man. Just help us out. Again, we're doing this. I do this on my spare time. So, please support. We do have a Substack. We do have an event coming up, the Ohio Cannabis Social Equity Forum, April 4th. I will be organizing that. We are looking for a couple more community sponsors, a couple more social equity sponsors. You get 2 tickets to the event. You get space at the resource table. You get a shout out on all of our Instagram and social media pages. We'll do an interview on our platform of your choice. We could just do our podcast, or you could come on live on Instagram or social media live, YouTube, and we, interview you about your business, your organization, and your message. I think we got like 2 or 3 more spots for community sponsors at $50. And then we have a social equity sponsors for $250. We have 4 more spaces for the social equity sponsors. Social equity sponsor, you get everything that the community sponsor gets, but you get 3 tickets to the event. You get your own table. You also get a podcast, promotions, and we also will promote you at the event. Before the event starts, you get a shout out. If you want to say a word or two about your company, organization, movement, mission, we will allow that. We have reached out to state level politicians, city level politicians. So hopefully there will be some, politicians in the space where people can connect, network. There will be different people from all over the industry, all over the central Ohio area. So there will be great opportunities to network with people that grow, home growers. There will be industry advocates. There will be entrepreneurs. There will be, who else we got? We got some harm reduction specialists. We got veterans. So it should be a good group. We got 4 women on the panel, 2 men, 1 disabled black man who's an entrepreneur. Shout out to Anthony. So yeah, I'm excited about this group. They're going to be the first one, and I think I'm going to turn this into a series. So I'm thinking it's going to be a series of events, maybe monthly or quarterly, where we do these meetups, where we talk about social equity, social justice in the cannabis space. And we talk about how, these cities and states are funneling this money into our communities and what's that money being used for, right? So like the city of Columbus got $3.2 million, but where are they going to put that money towards, right? Like that money should be going towards people in the cannabis community, people most harmed by, the war on drugs, and going towards building, an infrastructure to support people, right? So expungements, housing, education, resources, workforce development, helping people, get into the cannabis industry, helping people if they want to build a dispensary, a legal dispensary, help them get funding to support that, right? So we need to be on top of that so we can tell our politicians at the state, city, and local level what we want to do with that. Also, we need the rest of that 36% that was social equity to come back to being social equity and not going to the general revenue fund. So yeah, it's a lot, but that's why people got to be, you got to be on the ground and with the people, because you got to see where the money's going. Because even when these cities get money, they, you still have city officials that want to do with the money for their projects, right? So, if you have, oh, we have this project that we want to do over here, like, how you just gonna take weed money and just put it over there? You know what I mean? Like, that's fucked up. The weed money should stay with the weed people. That's how I feel about it. But who am I? Who am I? But make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you check out some of our former content as well. There's a lot of information, a lot of resources that is in that content as well. So again, thank you guys. Peace and love.